And welcome to Roadside Notes. I'm Christopher, the Route 66 chaplain, and these are the readings from the Faith and Good Courage Journal found at faithandgoodcourage.com. These are my stories from and for the road, a little grace for the miles ahead, and reminders that hope still travels with us. This journal, Kindness is Not Always Reactive, is from my June 11th, 2026 journal entry. Kindness is not always reactive. I didn't fully understand that until a pie sign in a diner case made it plain. It wasn't a remarkable day, just the road and a reason to stop. I pulled in the way I've pulled into 100 diners along this route. Counter seat, coffee first, and maybe something to go with it in case it looked worthwhile. The kind of stop where you're not expecting anything except maybe a few quiet minutes before the miles start up again. The pie case caught my eye on the way in. There was a handwritten note propped up against the glass. Buy one, get one. Nothing spiritual about it, just a bakery that maybe had too much and a diner trying to move it out before closing. Practical, simple, the kind of sign most people read, then do the math, and, well, I ordered my coffee and a slice and, well, sat with it for a while. Now, somewhere between the first cup and the second, something shifted. Not dramatically, just quietly, the way most things worth paying attention to arrive. I thought about taking the second slice to go, not for later, not for me, just because somewhere along the way, I started to, live life a little bit more ready than I used to. I was always open to the idea that something good might be needed just down the road, and I might be the one holding it. I didn't have a destination in mind. I didn't have a person picked out. I just asked for the second piece boxed up with a plastic fork, paid for it, and didn't make a thing about it. The whole decision, that's all there was. Now, a few miles out, there was a man standing on a corner that doesn't make headlines. The kind of corner where life gets a little heavier than most people want to look at for too long. A simple sign drawn, hungry. He wasn't asking for anything more. He was just standing there the way people stand when the day has worn them past the point of pretending otherwise. So I pulled over. I didn't have a speech, didn't have everything figured out. I just rolled down the window and held out the box and said something like, "I picked up an extra piece of pie back there. Thought you might want it." He looked at it, then he looked at me, and then he said thank you in a way that carried more weight than the word usually does. That was it. No long story, no moment that rearranged everything, just a man on a corner who got a piece of pie on an ordinary afternoon, and maybe felt like somebody saw him for a few minutes. I pulled back out onto the road thinking about how easy that was. Most of the kindness I've offered in my life have been reactive. Someone needed something and I happened to be close enough to help. That still matters, but there's something different about deciding before the moment shows up, about keeping your hands a little more open before anyone asks you to do so. It doesn't take much, a second cup of coffee, an extra bottle of water on a hot day, a few dollars set aside, not for anything in particular, just in case the road puts something in front of you and, something you didn't even plan for. This is something I've written about before, when kindness takes the wheel and keeps proving itself true time and time again. Kindness is not always reactive. Sometimes it's prepared. Sometimes it's a quiet yes made in a diner before you even know what you're doing. And that posture, that small shift in how you do things and move through the day, is what turns ordinary stops into something worth carrying home. In my roadside reflection, kindness is not always reactive. Sometimes it starts with a small decision made before the need is even visible. The sign in the pie case was ordinary. The corner was ordinary. The man standing there was carrying something heavy in a way most people never would have slowed down to notice. But one quiet decision made over coffee before the moment arrived turned a regular Tuesday into something worth remembering. You don't have to wait for something big to move you. Just stay ready. Keep your hands open. The moment will find you. Travel well, my friends. Have faith and good courage.